All right, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Masked Ranker back again with another ranking, and today we are starting our end of the year tier lists. This is very exciting. This has been what I've been waiting all year to do. This is finally where we collectively, we all come and we watch me rank everything that I have done up until this point. As you can see here on screen, this is every movie, not every movie that I watched. I was wondering how to do this. I'm gonna give a bit of background before I begin. I started this channel like halfway through the year around when high school ended for me. So around, I think it was June. I think it was probably June. It might have been July. I'm not exactly sure. It was actually, now that I think about it, it was probably July. So I started this channel about halfway through when the year was already over. So this is not actually all the movies I've seen. There's actually probably about another at least 50 more that I watched. But I decided, for the sake of how it's gonna go, like when I do next year's rankings and stuff, because I want to do collective rankings as well. So it's like, this is the first one. Next year, I'm gonna do a ranking for all the movies, and then I'm going to be adding all the new movies I watched last year, or the rewatches I did. I'm gonna be adding that to this tier list that we're making now. So this tier list is labeled movies I reviewed / ranked. So next year, we're gonna do a 2026 movie ranking, but we're also gonna do a movies that I've watched as of 2026 ranking, or movies I reviewed, not watched, because watched, we're not there yet. So, so this includes every movie that I've reviewed so far. So some of these I rewatched this year, some of these were new watches for me. It's not every movie I actually watched this year because we didn't get to reviewing them, and I don't really want to talk about stuff I didn't get to making full reviews on yet. So for now, we're just doing the movies that I reviewed, which is still a lot, as you can see here. And this is the first of many. I think we're going to be doing a total of 17 tier lists over the course of the next few days. I think here today, I didn't think I would have time to record today, but I actually do have some time now because I've about an hour and a half before I have another lesson to get to. So we have some time now. I think we're gonna have a bit of time later, so I'm gonna also hopefully get some tier lists out later. And then tomorrow I'm gonna be completely busy the entire day. I have a lot of work to do, so I'm not gonna be able to get anything. And then Thursday, what I normally do is I come back on Thursdays. What I'm gonna be doing this Thursday is because I want a quiet place, because in my house, it's my family's there, and it's they're loud and stuff, and I also don't want to be in my room the entire day. So basically what I decided was Thursday, instead of just going, usually Thursdays I'll go straight home from the train, because I take a train home because I have to commute from university to where I live. So I'm at my dorm currently, so what I'm going to do is on Thursday, I'm just going to stay a few extra hours on Thursday, basically come back to my dorm when my roommate already left for the weekend, and then I'm going to do all the recordings here at my dorm, and then I'll just end up coming back home late on Thursday. So I think that is the best course of action. But anyway, with all that preamble out of the way, we are going to begin. As you can see, normally I don't do D and F tiers, but because of the amount that there's going to be this time, I decided that because of the scope of it all, we're going to have D / F tiers. Also, there might be some contradictions, just because this is a very large quantity of movies and stuff. There might be a movie that I rank low, maybe C or D tier, that in my actual review for the movie I might have rated higher. It is because it's just because the sake of how it compares to other movies. So we're going to be a bit harsher with this one. So a movie that I might have said oh, this is a good movie, it's a 7 or something, I might end up giving it a C or a D or something like that. So, or maybe not, who knows? I'm just saying there might be some contradictions with some of the reviews I've done up until this point. So, but anyway, let us just begin. Starting off with the first one. This is not in any order. This is just I added all the movies I watched to a file, and then so it put them in a random order. So this should be interesting. So let's just begin. First one off is Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. We're doing this, I guess, this is technically the only way we can do this. Is overall context, overall how I feel about the movie. And I would say that this is it's a C or a D tier movie. I think I will be, I'm going to be a bit harsh with this. I'm going to give it D tier. Once again, I am going to be much stricter with how I rate the movies. In this case, there might also be a lot of contradictions where it's you might go back to a review and you might see that I rated a movie, it might be that I rated one movie a higher score and then another movie a lower score, but the lower score movie might end up ranking higher. In this case, it's just because maybe the movie marinated better in my mind, and so just as time goes on, I enjoyed one. I might think more fondly of one movie rather than another. So anyway, I'm going to give Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul D tier. I'm also going to try to do the side style. I don't know if I feel at the end, just doing all of it side style might be a bit more difficult. So we're going to try to do the side style as we go along. So I think it's going to end up being an hour long recording or something like that. So anyway, Moana 2, I'm going to give C tier. We're not really going to get too much in depth. All these, I did reviews for all these. So if you do want my thoughts in depth, you can just check out, I'll speak briefly on each one. So, if you do want the full in-depth analysis, I would say check out the reviews. But Wallace and Gromit, it was fine. I like the first one better, but definitely a fine movie. I'd say, by the way, all S, A, B, C, D, and F, they're like, actually, no, fine. I'm going to say that, we're going to say that C, B, A, and S, those are like positive, and then D and F, those are like the negative tiers. So if a movie is at least C tier, then I thought of it like it was all right, like not bad or anything. If a movie's like D or F tier, like D is like, didn't really like it too much. F is like, this was terrible. So, but yeah, so Wallace and Gromit, I would say it was a fine movie. I didn't really think too much about it. Moana 2, definitely not as good as the first. I think it's like a bit overhated. Like it's, I don't know how much it's overhated, to be honest, but I did think that it was like fine, just not really a great sequel. A fine movie on its own though. So, yeah, anyway. Actually, maybe the opposite. Maybe it was like a fine sequel, but not like a great movie. I'd say it was fine. Like overall, I think I ended up giving it like a 6 out of 10. I thought it was like better than I guess most people. It definitely did not live up to the first one, but it was still fine. I'd say Shaun the Sheep movie, I would give this probably C tier, and yeah, I'd give it like C tier, probably below Wallace and Gromit. I thought it was we're doing, by the way, for the side style, for the sake of it, we're just like kind of going instinctually because it's going to be too difficult to like try to really think too hardly about this. So I'm going to say Shaun the Sheep, C tier. You know, I think it was probably the only silent movie besides like the sequel to this that is on the list actually. So it was fine. I enjoyed it. I never watched the Shaun the Sheep movie, so this was this was a rewatch. Moana 2, Wallace and Gromit, Vince Marcel, that was a first time watch. Shaun the Sheep also a first time watch, and yeah, I'd say C tier. Shaun the Sheep, Farmageddon. I think I got the poster in a different language here, but still same movie. I would give this C tier. Nah, honestly, like D tier. I'm being a bit harsh with it. I wouldn't even say it's fine. I'm gonna say D tier. It's also like a fine movie. It's like not good or bad really. But it's like I don't know. It's not meant to really like correlate with the scores really. It's just kind of meant to be just my overall thoughts. Like D tier, fine. We're gonna say D tier. It's not like bad, but because I feel like if we're gonna say that is the case, then we're just gonna end up having like most of the tiers are gonna end up being in C tier, and I kind of want a bit of variety. So we're just gonna say D tier is also like positive, but like on the verge of like not being great. So yeah, Chicken Run. I would give Chicken Run. I'd say B tier. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I would give Dawn of the Nugget. I thought it was a bit worse, but definitely I still enjoyed it a lot. So I'm going to say C tier, top of C tier. I'd say Arthur Christmas. This was very surprising for me. I did not watch it before. I didn't really know what to expect. I did say up until this point it's like the black sheep of the Aardman films, and I think I would give it probably. I think I'd go B tier. I would say, yeah. Honestly, I kind of liked it more than I thought. The humor in it was like really good, surprisingly. So. The Pirates Band of Misfits. Now, this is actually, up until this point, I think this is my least viewed video on my channel, the review I did for this movie. This is my favorite Aardman film. Like, on rewatch, this is still a great Aardman film. I don't think it's an S tier movie, but it's definitely an A tier movie. I really did enjoy it. It was very fun to watch, and so, yeah. Over the Hedge, I also really like this one. This was also a big surprise for me. I thought it was a very nice watch. I'd give it A tier, honestly. It was very entertaining. One of the better animated movies I think I saw this year. Horton Hears a Who. This is also, I would say, an A tier movie. Yeah, this one still really holds up to this day. This is one of my most rewatched movies of all time. Very much enjoyed it. Ace Ventura. The original Ace Ventura, I'm going to give B tier. I'm going to be harsh with this. I thought it's a good movie, but definitely just like for the sake of this list, we're going to kind of, we're being harsher than usual. So I'm going to say B tier, I'd say. Ace Ventura 2, I did really like, though. I like this one more than the original Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. Very, very good humor in this, like a lot of good jokes in this, and overall, I just like the setting more as well, so yeah. Ace Ventura Jr., F tier. This was not a great watch for me. This was a rewatch as well, so going into it, I was going into it with like lower expectations because I already saw it and I didn't like it the first time, and even so, it just did not work for me really, so yeah. We might actually end up having to add another like S tier because I feel like this might not be enough. So yeah, we might end up adding like maybe an S plus tier. So Rio, I would give this like, I'm gonna say A tier. I'm gonna say A tier like above. I guess we're not really doing side style as we go along this. We'll do side style at the end. I guess fine. I thought I would do this as we like go along, but I think it's gonna like be too. I'm gonna have to focus too much, which is gonna end up making the recording take longer. I'm not really pressure on time. I have about like an hour and a half probably. I can end up showing up late to my list and it's not gonna be that big a deal, but yeah, I don't know, it shouldn't take that long. Honestly, it shouldn't take more than an hour. So but yeah, we'll do side style at the end. The Secret Life of Pets, not great. I would say like, I don't think F tier, but I'm gonna give it D tier. Definitely one of Illumination's weaker films. Robots, this was a great movie. Honestly, I would give this like, I don't know, S tier. I think S tier is like, I kind of want to save S tiers for like the really good ones, but honestly, this is a really good one. As well as like, honestly, like, I don't know, these three here, like, I don't know what is worthy of S tier. I might have to add another tier above. Anyway, Hop, this was better on rewatch, I'll be honest. It was better on rewatch, but even so, it's still not great. The way that they handled certain characters, especially Carlos and stuff, just did not work at all for me. So, but I would say, honestly, not an F tier film, but yeah, D tier, I'd say. Secret Life of Pets 2, this one was even worse than the first one. I didn't like this. This is like, yeah, the way it was structured and stuff, it just did not work for me really well. Rio 2, definitely not a great, like, I don't know if I guess it was fine as a sequel, but like as just a movie, I don't know. Again, it's hard to like decide. I think as a sequel, it was fine. Like they bring back a sequel, you want them to bring back the characters, you want them to have like a plausible continuation to the original. Like, okay, what happened in the original? What makes sense moving forward for the film to happen? So I guess as a sequel, it worked fine. I guess also that's why Moana, I thought like the Moana sequel was, I don't know if Moana worked well as a sequel because of reasons of like they introduced stuff that like just was never mentioned in the first one, which is fine. You do want to have like some world building stuff, but I don't know. I would have to think more about it, and I feel like now's not the time to start going to it. So, Rio 2, I would give it like, I'm not sure. I think I would probably go about, yeah, I have to go like B tier, honestly. It was very disappointing when you have like the first one being as good as it is. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, I would give this like, not an A tier film, but definitely a B tier film. I am excited for the sequel, definitely. I do want to see what that's going to be like, so I am definitely looking forward to the sequel. But yeah, the first one, like, I guess the original the one that we're ranking here, it's just B tier, I'd say. The Peanuts movie, I would give this like, also B tier. I thought it was enjoyable, definitely. Nice watch, not A tier worthy, I would say. Wake Up Dead Man, this is one of the best films of the year. I'm gonna give this one S tier. This is my favorite Knives Out film to this date, and this is just a great mystery, great lead protagonist, great acting, mediocre side cast, which really does bring it down. Honestly, this could be like way better if just they had like a better side cast, but other than that, just overall a great film, definite S tier, I would say. Epic. Honestly, this one surprised me. On rewatch, I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I did the first time, and I would give it like I don't know, I'd say like C tier, maybe either B or C tier. I'm gonna be a bit harsh, I'm gonna give it C tier, but definitely honestly surprising. Sing, I like this one a lot. I would give this like honestly A tier, maybe even S tier. I'm gonna give it S tier for just because this is honestly like one of my favorite Illumination films. I really just, the story worked really well for me, the characters and stuff. It's just the music, especially the final performances, just really, it all was great. Sing 2, this was also really good. Honestly, the first time I watched both Sing films, I liked the second one more than the first. On rewatch though, I kind of like the first one a bit more than the second one, but they're really close, but I think that the second one is just, at the moment, maybe just a slight bit lower. I don't really know why. I think maybe just the first one, it felt like it's doing something like very unique. And then the second one is definitely still more unique and like they're upping the stakes and stuff kind of, but definitely the first one just feels like, it feels like the first one is like a bit more, sorry, what I said about like upping the stakes, I kind of meant like in terms of the threat of like Billy Crystal being like more dangerous than just the first one where it's like the stakes are, it's weird because like the stakes in the first one are kind of like higher in the sense that this is like Buster trying to prove himself. And then in the second one, it's like, okay, he's kind of proven himself to be able to run a good local theater, but then he wants to prove himself that he's like cut out for the big games, which in a sense of danger, it's like not that much dangerous, but then in the actual threat of like Billy Crystal, it is more dangerous. So it's like, it's upping the stakes in one aspect of like the physical danger, but then kind of lowering it in the aspect of like, if he fails, like he'll just go back to his local theater, where he's still successful at. So yeah. Okay, we did actually up until this point mostly animated movies, and now we are, I think, getting into some more of the live action ones, which we have Bad Boys. This was Bad Boys 2. This was my favorite Bad Boys film, I think. Actually, no, not my favorite. This was my second favorite. I thought that For Life was my favorite one, and I think that Bad Boys 2 was a very fun one, though. I would give this, honestly, B tier, very entertaining, I'd say. No Time to Die. This was pretty, I think this was like, right in the middle of the James Bond movies. I would say it's like C tier. Not really, it was fine. I didn't really, C tier is like the definition of, I feel like, a mid tier, I would say. So, yeah. Moana, this was a great film, definite, I would have to say S tier. I thought that it was, the music was great, the story itself was great, the settings were beautiful and stuff. I thought that overall S tier film. Old Dads, D tier, it leaned too much into like humor that I just don't really find funny, or just, like, I don't know, like Bill Burr, especially recently, like he's been in a lot of like controversy for some stuff that he did. At the time that this came out, like he was very much still like, a charming, like, not charming, I feel like, but like a entertaining comedian. I'm not really we're gonna ignore the stuff that he's doing like nowadays because, I know a lot of people have opinions on that. I don't really want to get into that because that's not what this video is about. The film itself here, it's like very much trying to lean into like, I don't know, anytime that they just do stuff there, it's like, oh, this society these days they're too like soft and stuff, and like you can't, participation trophies are bad. So like it's just very lazy. It's overdone. And I guess at this point when they did, I think it came out in like 2020 or 2021, maybe 2022. I don't remember. I'm really bad with like the dates during the COVID era. So, but yeah, I don't think that this was great. Like Bill Burr's still like entertaining, I guess, but even so, like just the movie itself, it's just leaning into humor that I just don't find that good. So the Phoenician Scheme, this was a what's his name? The director, Wes Anderson. Yeah, Wes Anderson. This was a mediocre Wes Anderson film, I'd say. I didn't really, actually, honestly, not even mediocre. Like, I think this is, I've seen like 4 total Wes Anderson productions, which was like Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Phoenician Scheme, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. I think this is probably like around the middle. I think, yeah, we'll get to that when we like start doing Wes Anderson rankings, I guess, but this was fine. I'd give it like C tier. I think the worst thing about it is just that they have so many like A-list actors, and then they like barely use them. Like they're all in like one scene and stuff. So it's a bit of a confusing narrative also as well. So John Wick. Okay, the original John Wick, definite A-tier film. This is like one of my favorite. This like the franchise alone is one of my favorite franchises. I would say out of the John Wick films, like the first one, it is not the best one. There are better ones in the franchise, but definitely this is still an A-tier film. Novocaine. Novocaine was enjoyable. I would give it like C tier. I thought it was kind of interesting. I felt like I kind of wish they leaned a bit more into like the, you know, being a bit more creative with the whole concept of like Nathan Kane not being able to feel pain and stuff. I kind of wish that they did a bit more with that. But you know what we got, it was fine. It was enjoyable. It was like unique compared to like some other just hitman type movies kind of thing. He's not a hitman, but like you know, a guy being a guy going at like on revenge, like killing a bunch of bad guys and stuff. So yeah, so I thought it was fine, like C tier. John Wick 2, A-tier film as well. I think that this is the weakest one in the John Wick franchise, but even so, it is still just such a great film that I'm giving it A-tier. Yeah, honestly, the John Wick like movies, there are no bad ones, I would say, and yeah. The Usual Suspects, one of the biggest disappointments of the year, to be honest, for me. I really went into it hoping for something good. Like I went into this with like very high expectations. I heard like good things about it, and I was very intrigued. This was like at the start of the year, this was one of the films I wanted to watch the most. I watched it. The narrative, it's like I couldn't understand a thing. The only thing that I liked about it was like at the end, kind of the whole like reveal with spoiler alert, I guess. I should have said that at the start, honestly, but the whole reveal with like Verbal being Kaiser Soze, I thought that was pretty good. But then everything up to that, it's like once again, the clarity. It is, movies need to have good clarity. You need to be able to like easily follow, or not, at least for me, if like I can't understand what's going on in a movie, if it's too complicated for me, which for like The Phoenician Scheme, The Usual Suspects, maybe I'm just not intelligent, maybe I'm just not comprehending it enough, like maybe I'm just not like the smartest person, and so it's difficult for me to comprehend. But even so, it just, that is the case, and so it kind of lowers the film for me. So because of that, this is like, honestly, I wanted to like this film, but like I just couldn't understand anything that was going on, and yeah, because of that, I just have to give it F tier. I just did not enjoy it. So American Made, I like this one. This was with Tom Cruise. He is smuggling drugs into Cuba, I think it was, or somewhere in South America, and it's a biopic, and I do love biopics, and I would give this one of the weaker biopics, but even so, it's still an entertaining one. And I think C tier or B tier, I will be, I'll be generous and say B tier. I thought it was pretty entertaining, yeah. Taxi Driver, once again, one of the biggest disappointments of the year. I do not get what people see in this film. It is just like, I saw Joker, that was like enjoyable. That was like a great film. Not this year, I didn't see it, it's not in this ranking here, but I did see Joker. It is like a great movie, and I feel like it did better than this film. Like this film is just like a guy, he's kind of insane and stuff, and then it's like the first hour, he's kind of just like trying to stalk a girl, or not really stalk, but like he's trying to get with a girl. I guess it is kind of stalking. He's like he's like trying to follow around and stuff, I think, from what I remember. And then eventually he kind of like leans into the whole like, he wants to be a vigilante and stuff. He starts like building these mechanical stuff. He wants to assassinate some politician. He ends up meeting this girl that I think is like being this like underage girl, or maybe she's not underage, I don't remember, and she's part of like this illegal like sex trafficking ring, I'm pretty sure, something like that. And he ends up going there, killing everyone there, which I don't know, it felt like, I don't know, I don't really understand the film, maybe, I don't know, it didn't work for me. It was very yeah, I really just don't know what to say. If you want to hear my thoughts, probably listen to my review for it, where I actually, I just finished watching it, and then I have my thoughts more clear and stuff. But this film, it just did not work for me. I thought that something like The Joker was a lot better, and the Joker is inspired by this, and I think that it was a much better like kind of story of a guy like being beaten down by society, I guess. And because in this case, I don't even remember him at any point like really being beaten down. I think he maybe got rejected by a girl and that was it. And then I don't remember any instances really where society was really like after him or something like that in the film. So yeah, did not work for me. So definite F tier. The other guys, I thought this was a very funny film. Honestly, this was, I think Will Ferrell films in general, they're pretty funny, as well as Mark Wahlberg. I think that they're a good duo together. I know that like, you know, Mark Wahlberg also, like, as usual, I always mention this, like, if the actor has some controversy around them, I'm not like, you know, me saying the movie's good, it should be obvious, honestly. Like, I think you guys are smart enough to understand that me saying that, like, a movie's good is not an endorsement of the actor. I know also The Usual Suspects, I guess I rated this negatively, but I know that, like, Verbal was my favorite character in it, and that is played by Kevin Spacey, who has, like, a lot of accusations against him. So once again, not an endorsement of the actor. We're strictly always talking about the film itself and the characters in the film, not the actual actors playing the characters. I'll sometimes say, like, I think that this actor did a great job playing the character, but once again, we're talking strictly in the sense of, like, the actor playing the character, not like as in the actor, like I might say like, okay, John Wick, I think that, like, I think Keanu Reeves is also like a good actor and stuff. And, I like Keanu Reeves as a person, but, like, if I'm speaking about an actor that has controversy, assume that I am aware of the controversy and that I am not, like, endorsing it in whatever way. I think you guys always know this. I always just mention it because, I don't know, I feel like I need to, but whatever. Quantum of Solace, this is the weakest James Bond movie in the franchise, and because I'm kind of being harsher with these, what do you call it, rankings, I'm going to give it F tier. I thought that it was, yeah, definitely just the weakest James Bond movie. I thought that it was cool, I guess. You had a desert area, which I think it's the only film in the James Bond movies with a desert area, at least from the Daniel Craig films, from what I remember. So that is a bit unique, but other than that, it is, yeah, once again, watch my review if you want to hear my full thoughts on it, but yeah, definitely the weakest James Bond film, and I did not really like it that much. This is the original Independence Day, and I thought this was a great film. I would give this probably A tier, not an S tier film, but I definitely thought that this was, yeah, very, very good film. I watched it the first time this year on Independence Day, so that was good timing, and I just, yeah, really enjoyed the film. John Wick 3, this is my favorite John Wick film, definitely Parabellum. It has one of the best openings in a film that I have ever seen, where it's like the final hour, where before John Wick enters excommunicado, where he's like running against the clock. He's injured, he needs to get to a doctor and stuff. Fantastic. I love movies where you just have this. I do want to see, there's the movie that just recently came out, The Running Man. I want to see that. I don't think I really saw any reviews for it, so I don't really know how good the film is, but yeah, I try in general just to avoid reviews so I can like come up with my own opinions on stuff. But I do want to see The Running Man, which I think there's originally one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in that came out in 1990 something, I'm pretty sure, or maybe it was 1980 something, and then they did a reboot just now recently in 2025, and I do want to watch that because I do like films about like one character that is being hunted by just like an entire city. So that is, I think there's also a movie called like Guns Akimbo that is the same kind of concept, so I do think I should watch that one also eventually as well. I do need to come up with like some sort of way. I'm doing a lot of rewatches lately because of just the way that because a lot of the rewatches I've been doing lately have been for like viewer recommendations and stuff, or just like comparison recommendations where I would need to watch the film for it, and then I also get to watching the rest of the films in the studio, specifically like Blue Sky and Illumination, which I did not finish all of them. I will finish them next year in 2026. So, but yeah, anyway, I need to find like some method where it's like I also watch new movies and not just rewatches. Yeah. Anyway, Independence Day Resurgence, definitely not as good as the first one, and honestly, I'm gonna have to give it F tier. I'm being harsh with it. I think the film was, probably I enjoyed it a bit more than some other people. It kind of just rehashes the first one, and then, yeah, but doesn't do it as well as the first one, honestly, so I definitely thought the first one was better. John Wick, Chapter 4, I would give this probably S tier as well. Honestly, the John Wick films, they're always hitters, honestly. This was John Wick Chapter 4. Some of the best locations with like Okinawa, the Okinawa Continental, as well as you have Paris. You have the one in between those, which is, I forgot what it was, but it was Okinawa, Paris, and then there was another one that he went to, and I don't remember at the moment what it was, but it wasn't the Middle East, I'm pretty sure. No, it wasn't the Middle East. He goes to Okinawa, he then escapes there, and then he goes to, I can't remember, let me look this up. Where does John Wick go after Okinawa in John Wick 4? I want to remember this because he goes to New York. Yeah, he does go. He goes to New York to Sharon's grave, and then he goes to he goes to Russia in order to, and then he goes to has like the poker game with Kill and stuff. So yeah, great locations. Bit difficult for me to remember, but even so, they are still very good locations. Very good action. A lot of great characters. They introduced Kane in this one, and I thought that he is a fantastic character. And yeah, Stuart Little, didn't really care for it that much. I'm gonna have to say like F tier, as well as like the second film. Not F tier. I don't think they're like bad films, but I'll say D tier. Like they're not like terrible films, but very, very weak film. The third film is definitely an F tier film, I'm gonna say. So yeah, like they're fine. They're very like child friendly films, and I just don't really care for them too much. Ballerina, definitely the weakest in the John Wick franchise. Even so, it is still, I would give it like probably a like a B or C tier. I think I'll be generous. I'll give it a B tier because it is. I guess it's still technically part of the John Wick franchise. It takes place, I think, during Parabellum. I think it was before he went to. I think it was before he went to Paris. I'm pretty sure he ends up going to Russia or wherever it is that the final scene in the final act of the movie takes place in. And yeah, but this one is. It's a good film. It's definitely not a bad film. It has some cool action at the start. It has some cool action with Arna de Armas. You see some more Continentals, which is always cool. Always nice when they do world building. And so, yeah, I would give it B tier, I'd say. Onward, I thought that this was, I'll give it like C tier. It's fine. It has some good emotional moments at the end. And it's a fine, very mid Pixar film, I'd say. So, as usual, I don't need to preface this. Always just assume you can watch the reviews if you want more information. You guys, I apologize if I'm like repeating a lot of stuff and you find it annoying. I don't know, habit of mine that I should try to quit. The Devil Wears Prada, there is going to be a sequel to this one. I'm pretty sure that they announced a sequel this year. I'm pretty sure maybe they announced it a while ago, but I think maybe they released a trailer for it. I haven't seen it yet because I don't really like watching trailers too much. But The Devil Wears Prada, I would give this A tier, maybe A tier, maybe B tier. I don't know. I'm gonna give it A tier. Honestly, I liked it a lot. It was very interesting, very unique kind of film of like this person that enters the fashion industry, and then she's like working for this person that is basically the devil of the fashion industry, kind of, where it's like she is an impossible woman to work for. And definitely I would say an A tier film, between like an A or B tier, but I remember like liking it. It's just not that prominent in my memory at the moment. So Skyfall, this was my favorite James Bond film with Daniel Craig, and well, I haven't seen any other James Bond films, so at the moment this is my favorite James Bond film, and I would give it A tier. I thought that it was definitely the most entertaining, the most the one with the best villain. I thought Silva was great, and they had some cool action sequences with the train and stuff. You had some good areas like the actual Skyfall orphanage, as well as they introduced Moneypenny in this one, which is nice. What else do they have in this one? They have a lot of good stuff, honestly. I'm not going to say watch my reviews, but watch my reviews for it if you want more information. Despicable Me, I'm going to say the original, I would give it's an A tier film. I liked it. It was definitely good, very rewatchable to this day still, and yeah, A tier. Casablanca, another film that I just was very disappointed in, similar to Taxi Driver and The Usual Suspects. I went into it, I wanted it to be good, I heard really good things about it, and it was just way too, not even non-comprehensive, I guess kind of like in the same vein of just being very difficult to follow along to. I guess Taxi Driver is not the most confusing thing to follow along to, but even so, I just didn't like Taxi Driver that much. Casablanca, though, a film that was not the easiest film to follow along to, especially with it being black and white, is much more difficult to differentiate the characters, kind of like a lot of them look similar. So it was a movie that had something to do with like it took place in like World War II. There were Nazis involved. It was like this guy, he wanted to be with this woman and stuff, and then his friend was in part of a resistance, and there were Nazis trying to capture him and all this stuff. It has some redeeming qualities. Like I thought the music that I forgot his name, like Dooley played in the film. I thought that the music was great, but other than that, yeah, the film definitely just did not work for me. So the second Despicable Me movie, I'm going to give, I'll give it C tier. I thought that this was one of the weaker ones in the franchise. Not even the weaker ones, just like one of the mid ones. Like it was just a mid-tier Despicable Me movie. It was fine, not great, but yeah. The original Minions, I'm gonna have to give this D tier. I don't think the Minions really hold up great as lead characters. They are not as good as Gru from the actual Despicable Me movies, but yeah, I guess the movie had like Scarlet Overkill. She was a good villain. You do see some interesting locations because the Minions have been to a lot of different locations. But yeah, overall D tier, I'm gonna say. Despicable Me 3. This is honestly, I think that probably Despicable Me 1 is the like better film, but I do think that I kind of enjoy Despicable Me 3 a bit more. So yeah, this is like, in most cases, I always say to myself, like, okay, if it's the film that I enjoy more, then that would be the film that I think is better, right? But this is like the only case that I can think of where it's like, okay, this film specifically, I like it more, but I can kind of see that this film is the better film, the original Despicable Me. So that's like the only case where I can kind of like, I'm able to do that. So, but I think that the original Despicable Me, I would give it probably, no, sorry, not the original, the third Despicable Me, I'm going to give it, I would say, not A tier, I'm going to go B tier. I'm going to be harsh with that. I'm going to give it B tier. Rise and Gru. This was one of the most loved movies, and I think both the Despicable Me and the Minions franchise. It did not work for me, honestly. This is my least favorite one from the entire collective franchise of Despicable Me and Minions. I don't know what people see in this. I'm going to be honest. It's not even a Minion movie. It's like a Gru Jr. movie. Even so, he's like barely in the film. He ends up like getting kidnapped by Wild Knuckles at some point, and that's it. That's it. The Vicious Five or whatever, the Vicious Six turned 5. They are some of the worst villains in the entire Despicable Me franchise. They feel very, very lame. It just feels like they just got like random stuff like, oh, a nun with nunchucks, a guy that's like French and then he has a crab arm, like some skater dude that's like buff, something like that. Yeah, overall, I just did not really enjoy the movie at all, so F tier. K-Pop Demon Hunters. This was a great film. Honestly, I'm gonna give it like, for the year, like just the year alone, like not even, at the new films I saw this year, this was one of the best in terms of like the new ones and the rewatches I saw. I would give this like probably, honestly, I'll be generous. I'll give it like an S tier. I did it like, maybe it's still like fresh in my, it's not even fresh in my mind. I saw this like around the time that, a few months after it came out. I think it was around the time that I think I started the channel, maybe like a month or two after. This was a great film, and I thought that it was fantastic music, great characters, very good animation, and yeah, a great story as well. So honestly, S tier, I would say. Okay, this one, probably very controversial. This is one of the most loved movies of all time, and to this day, I think this is honestly my least favorite movie of all time. 2001: A Space Odyssey. I absolutely hated it. It is 2.5 hours long, way too long. I thought, like, I'll say the redeeming qualities, okay? The first 20 minutes with, like, the monkeys and stuff, it goes on long, but even so, it's, like, kind of interesting. I don't really know, like, what the purpose of it is, but it's, like, meant to show, like, compare, like, from the start to, like, later on where it's, like, we're flying spaceships or something. I thought, like, the first 20 minutes, even though it was, like, they're not really doing anything, just kind of showing monkeys, like, I guess, evolving, learning to use, like, weapons or something. I guess that was, like, kind of interesting. Besides that, I guess maybe the part with, like, Al, what was that his name? Al 3000 or AI 3000, I forgot his name. 2001, Hal, that's his name, yeah. Hal was, I guess, kind of not even an interesting character. It was just that he got like given 2 different orders of like, you can't hurt anyone, but at the same time, you have to make sure that like they don't find out about the mission or something like that. So because of that, he had like contradicting orders, and so he ended up like killing, he tried to kill like David Bowman, and he also tried to kill the other guy. If you're wondering, I remember his name. I'm just gonna say this. I only remember his name because like in preparation for these tier lists, I had to like get a lot of images for the characters. So because that's gonna, that there are gonna be some tier lists that involve characters as well that we're gonna have coming up. So yeah, it was didn't work for me. This is the big problem. Okay. So many just 5-minute long shots. I don't get it. This came out in like I think this came out a bit before like the actual moon landing, which was in it wasn't in 1959, was it? It was in 1969. When was the moon landing? I'm not even sure. When was the moon landing? Let's see here. The moon landing, 1969. Okay, so this came out, I think, a bit before 1969, right? Am I getting that right? 2001: A Space Odyssey. Let's see here, when did it come out? 1968, so this came out 1 year before the moon landing. So I think the reason people like it is because they just like the visuals. They're like, oh, it's such incredible visuals for like 1968. Okay, fine. Even so, there's better visuals nowadays, so it's like, I have a reference of like what to compare this to, of like stuff nowadays, which I actually find like much more visually appealing. This one, they have way too many shots of just random stuff. Like, it's either just like the spaceship, something in the shuttle or something, just random shots of space or something like that. It is just way too long. The pacing is some of the worst I've ever seen. At least like something like One Piece. Okay, it has bad pacing, yes. At least stuff is happening. At least it's like, yeah, okay, they've been on the same fight for like 20 episodes. At least they're fighting. At least it's like something to watch. This just like panning shots of space or just like some random spaceship or something. It's so boring. Anyway, Despicable Me 4, yeah, F tier. I did not like this one either really that much. I don't think I disliked it, but for the sake of it, we're kind of being harsh with this. So F tier. There was way too much just filler in this one, where it's just it felt like they didn't really have like a story to tell really, so it's just like random filler of just Gru trying to fit in with like his neighbors or the girls doing whatever it is that they're doing, like karate lessons or something. Lucy having a new job. Maxime Lamal, he's like barely in the film. He gets defeated like I think right at the start, and then he gets captured, and then he breaks out, and then he only shows up towards the end of the film again. So yeah, very not in, yeah, just didn't work for me. So F tier. 2010, the year we made contact. I liked it better than 2001: A Space Odyssey, so I'll give it that. Even so, kind of similar, where it's just more stuff happens in it. I'll give it credit for that, and it is shorter, which is I guess nice. Even so, it's still, I don't know. The only thing that was good about this one that I really liked is there were the two characters of Max and the other one that I don't remember his name, but it was let me see here, Max and 2010, the year we made contact. It's not Max. Max is the Russian dude, and it was the guy that yeah, John Lithgow played, Walter. Okay, so I did like the friendship kind, not the friendship really, you can say friendship, but where Max was kind of like consoling Walter about because he was like scared of I don't know, he was like in space, he had to do something that was like very nerve-wracking, so Max was like consoling him, so I like that. But other than that, yeah, similar to 2001: A Space Odyssey, like with just not that interesting of a plot, and yeah, so F tier. Bad Boys for Life. I'm gonna give this one, what should I give this? This was my favorite Bad Boys movie, and so I'm going to give it, what did I give Bad Boys to? Did I give Bad Boys 2? I gave it B tier. I'll give Bad Boys for Life, I'll give it A tier. I thought it was the best Bad Boys movie in the franchise. I liked Armando, great inclusion in the franchise, very interesting, and best villain, I'd say. Yeah, and they killed Captain Howard, and yeah, I'm not gonna see my review. Yeah, anyway, moving on. The Naked Gun. I love the Naked Gun movies. These are some of my favorite movies ever since I watched them. I love spoof movies in general. They are some of my favorite, and it is one of my favorite genres, spoof movies, and I thought that the Naked Gun movies, all of them, really, I would say, are S tier, except for maybe like the second one. I think the second one's a bit weaker. Even so, it is still very entertaining, so I'm gonna give it A tier. Yeah, these are just the ones in the trilogy. Whenever we get to the new one, we'll rank it, I guess. But yeah, these ones were just extremely entertaining. Frank Drebin, the character, is very funny. The bits they do are just extremely just hilarious, very, very entertaining. I was laughing out loud a lot during it, and just, yeah, very enjoyable movie. I would recommend this probably to anyone, honestly. Maybe not to kids because there are some inappropriate jokes, but honestly, like if you just want something to laugh at, I would recommend like spoof movies in general, like Spaceballs, Airplane, the Naked Gun movies, Police Squad, even it's not a movie, but it's a show, so yeah, honestly, just they're great. I love them. The Lorax, I would give B tier. I thought it was good. I did like the Once-Lore plotline and the Lorax plotline a lot better than the actual Ted plotline. I thought that the Ted plotline was just like, okay, he wanted a tree because he was just simping for the girl that he likes, and yeah, so his motivations just felt really shallow. And then maybe later on, it's like once he actually gets the seed, he kind of realizes like, okay, it's actually important that maybe he started with like malicious intentions of like, okay, not malicious, I'd say that kind of seems a bit harsh, but he started off with like these, not great intentions of like just doing it to impress a girl. And then he realizes the importance of trees actually. And so he's doing it because he actually wants to, but even so, it just, I don't know. The old Ted stuff, it just wasn't as interesting as the Once-Lore stuff, which I thought was very interesting. So I would give it like B tier, pretty good film. The Wrong Missy, I would give this, C tier. It was fine. I thought that, you know, it's an Adam Sandler, like, Happy Gilmore. No, what was it called? Happy Madison. I think that's his studio, Happy Madison Productions, because it's like a combination of Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. So it's, yeah, Happy Madison Productions. So all those kind of Happy Madison production films, they're always fine. They're always like entertaining enough. They always have like Adam Sandler's kind of like cast of people. Like, this one has, David Spade. He has like a lot with, what's his name? Kevin something. It's not Kevin Smith. Is that his name? Kevin Smith? Is it him? Am I getting this right? No, it's not Kevin Smith. Who is the one that Kevin James? Yeah, Kevin James. Yeah, he gets like a lot of films with Kevin James, David Spade, some other ones like Chris Rock and stuff. They're always entertaining enough. Like I always like have a good time during them. So I'll say C tier. Not like the deepest thing or anything. Rebel Moon movies, F tier. This one, I really shot myself in the foot with this one. I decided to watch, I watched these films originally when they came out. Then I watched the director's cut because I was like, okay, the Justice League director's cut was better than the original. I'll watch the director's cut versions. Okay, not as good. Definitely, like, maybe the director's cut, they were like better, but even so, on rewatch now, this movie caused me to invent the runtime mercy principle, which is, I got the name from ChatGPT, but even so, I'm coining the term, okay? If someone else like mentions it before, you tell them that no, the master came up with that, okay? The runtime mercy principle, which is basically, once a film enters the negative territory, like below a 5 out of 10, it is no longer about the actual quality of the film, and it just becomes, okay, which is the shortest film? So because of that, these movies, something like, I mentioned this, like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I think it's a worse film than Rebel Moon. However, I would rather watch 2001: A Space Odyssey because at that point it's just shorter. So out of all these F tier films, I think the one that I would want to watch the most is probably, I think, Stuart Little, Call of the Wild, or The Secret Life of Pets 2, because those are just the shortest films out of all of these. So it's like, if you're already going to watch something bad, you might as well watch the shortest one, even if it's like, even if the shortest one is like worse than the longer one, which is like better in quality. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the films that work for me, I watched on rewatch this year. I watched the director's cut again, which I shouldn't have done. I probably should have just watched the sequel, so it could have gone by faster. A big problem with the film, I said, was like, the pacing is really bad. It takes too long. A lot of the characters are not really, I don't know, they show like flashbacks for the characters and stuff. Yeah, overall, it just felt like there were some cool stuff. Like, the world itself is like kind of interesting and stuff like that. Like, it looks cooler than the lightsabers, to be honest. Like, lightsabers are a bit, like, I don't want to say generic because they are pretty iconic at this point, but they are, it's like a lightsaber. It's like a thing, and it projects like light, and then they fight with it. But then these ones, they have like these blade things that are kind of like, they're lightsaber rip-offs, but they do look kind of cooler than lightsabers. Other than that, you have like blasters. I guess there is, like the action is like kind of unique, and like the world itself is kind of unique. I'd say just, as usual, I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to say it. Billy Madison, I liked. I thought it was enjoyable. I would give it like, what is this, Minions? Why did I accidentally grab Minions? Minions was here. Where did Billy Madison went here? I don't know what happened with that. Billy Madison, I would give it like B or A tier, and I'll go A tier. Honestly, it is a very funny Adam Sandler film. Adam Sandler, I'm just a big fan of. I always like his movies. They're always entertaining. And so, yeah, I'm gonna give it A tier. The Many Saints of Newark. I was more positive on this than a lot of people. I heard a lot of people did not like this one. I found it enjoyable. Honestly, I would give it like either C or B tier. And honestly, I'll go B tier. I did think that it was like good for what it was. Like, it is a prequel to The Sopranos, where it's just kind of following Dickie Moltisanti, who was the father of what's his name? It's Christopher Moltisanti. Yeah. So I thought that it was interesting to like follow these characters and see a lot of the other characters from the show that we've seen as younger versions. We see like Paulie, we see Big P, we see Silvio. You'll see characters like I think John Bernthal, he plays Johnny Boy. Even though I said this, I thought that every casting was great except for his. I thought like he did not look like the right casting choice for him. Even though I do like John Bernthal, he's a good actor. So yeah, overall, it worked for me for what it was. It wasn't too long, honestly. When it finished, I was like kind of hoping for more. You have Ray Liotta. He's in this. He's always nice to see in gangster films like Goodfellas and whatever else he was in. Yeah, I don't really do, Anyway, moving on. The Muppets movie. The Muppets movie I found enjoyable as well. I would give this probably A tier, honestly. I really liked it. This was for a viewer recommendation. I ended up watching this, and I do need to get to seeing, eventually I'll watch the rest of the Muppet films, but for now I just saw this one. It was good, honestly. The humor was a lot better than I was expecting. I thought this was kind of be a bit like childish because it is like Muppets and stuff, which is very much catered towards kids. They had some pretty like clever jokes in this. Like, they break the fourth wall at times, which I like when they break the fourth wall, if they do it the right way. Like, if they have like clever jokes where it's like they end up reading the script of like what's supposed to happen later on to tell them like what they're supposed to do, I'm pretty sure. So I thought it was good. I thought there were a lot of good jokes. The music wasn't even that bad. The Muppets themselves are pretty interesting and stuff. So overall, I would say like definite A tier. This is Bad Boys Ride or Die. Definitely, I think this was one of the weakest Bad Boy films. Like, there's only 4, but I thought that For Life was better than this. The second Bad Boys was better than this. I thought that the first one was, I don't know if the first one was better than this. I don't remember. You can check out my ranking for the Bad Boys movies. But I did think that this was one of the weaker ones. So I'm going to give this probably either C or D tier, and I'm gonna give it like D tier. I'm gonna be harsh with this. It didn't work for me. I didn't like the whole thing of like Mike Lowry, where all of a sudden he's like afraid of stuff, and yeah, it didn't work for me really too much. So, Taxi. This is what would I give this? I'll give it C tier. I remember it was enjoyable. I liked it. There was one really, really funny scene. Like the best part of the film is just like when Jimmy Fallon's character tries to commandeer a vehicle and he ends up causing this insane car crash to happen. It is hilarious. I recommend, like, I don't even know, like, look up on YouTube, like, Taxi, I don't know, Jimmy Fallon car crash scene, something like that, and then find that scene. It is fantastic. I absolutely just love that scene. So that was like the best part of the film. The rest of the film was fine. It was interesting, I guess. It was like a bank robbery movie involving taxes and stuff. So yeah. Role models, it was all right. It was, I'd say also like C or B tier, and I'll give it B tier. Honestly, I'll be generous with it. I thought it was good. I liked, yeah, the characters and stuff, and the plot itself was like pretty good. So B tier. Ice Age, the original Ice Age, I would give it either B or C tier. And I'm going to, I liked it better on rewatch. I think the first time I watched it, I didn't really care for it too much, but on rewatch, like watching it older, I think I enjoyed it a bit more. And I'm going to give it, I'd say, I'm gonna be a bit harsh. I'm gonna say C tier. I think honestly, it's kind of charming, like the old CGI animation that they use, where it's like it aged like not as gracefully as you would hope, but it did, like, there's a certain charm to it, I would say. So definitely like C tier, I'd give it. This is Ice Age: The Meltdown, and I would probably give that one. What did I think of it? I would say that it was probably the weakest Ice Age film in the franchise, and so I'm gonna give it D tier. Yeah, for reasons that you check out if you're interested. Mickey 17. Wait, I just want to go back to that. I don't want to leave you guys on a cliffhanger. That sounds. I always think, like, would I want a YouTuber to do this to me? And then I usually think, like, oh, come on, why are you gonna make me, like, that seems cheap. I dislike it as much as the rest because I just thought that, just based on memory, like, I don't know, I think the plot maybe just wasn't that interesting. It was like, they're just, for one, it was stupid that the vultures, like, they wanted to eat the animals and stuff, but they told them, like, how they can save themselves. I thought that was stupid. The actual plot itself, there is, like, they're just walking across, like, to get to the raft and stuff, and I thought that a lot of it is just, like, Manny trying to bond with Ellie and failing to do so, which I didn't think was that entertaining as, like, some of the other stuff in the franchise. So anyway, Mickey 17, I would give this one, like, C or D tier. I would say probably C tier. I'm gonna say D tier. It's honestly, it's one of the more forgettable movies I've seen this year. It was fine. I remember it was, like, all right, not the best, but it was, yeah, I don't know. It was very, like, I guess it was an interesting concept of, like, a guy that he dies and then he comes back to life, and then he ends up, there's two of them at a certain point and stuff, and then just the hijinks that ensues of it kind of ends. Yeah, they do have, like, they do kind of mock the current state of politics and stuff with, like, the political characters in this movie, and yeah, I thought all of it was, like, fine, honestly, like, just D tier, you know, check out the review. Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, I like this one. I would give it probably, I'd go, like, this is always, like, the one where it's, like, I remember the most fondly, but then when I actually rewatched it, like, I didn't think as highly of it as I remember. So I would give it, like, B or C tier. I'm gonna be harsh with it, C tier, because I remember I did not like it as much on rewatch, but still I think that it is a good film in the franchise. It is interesting with the dinosaurs. They introduce Buck, which I think is a great character. The setting of the dinosaur world is pretty cool, even though it is not really an Ice Age movie at this point. It's like, at least in the first film, it felt like an Ice Age film. The second film, it felt less so because, like, everything's melting. The third film didn't really feel at all because it's like we're not even in the Ice Age area except for the start. The fourth film kind of goes back to, like, kind of feels like, okay, you know, we have some ice areas and stuff. And the fifth film, by that point, is like, it barely even feels like an Ice Age film, like there's no ice anywhere. So anyway, the fourth film, this is my favorite film in the Ice Age franchise. I would give this one, honestly, A tier. I like this one a lot. This one is, I like that they go back to the original film where you get the main three casted characters of Manny, Diego, and Sid. They also introduce Granny, but she's like a fine addition. I don't really mind. I don't think that she brings anything down. So definitely, I would say, my favorite in the franchise, and I loved Gut. I thought that his crew was great, and you know, some good music in this one. I did like the plot of like that they got separated because of like the Scrat basically like terraforming the Earth, basically like just destroying the continents, and well, not destroying, kind of creating the opposite, actually creating the continents. So yeah, honestly, it was very, very good for me. So A tier. If I sound a bit more tired now, it's because we're going about this like almost 50 minutes, which, you know, I've done recordings that I think this is probably, I think the longest recording I've done up to this point was, I don't remember, but I don't think it would have been longer than like 50 minutes. So I think this is probably going to be the longest recording I've ever done, and it's going to probably be over an hour long. So there's this one. I think the rest of the ones I'm going to do today are probably going to be shorter. And then the ones I'm going to be doing on Thursday a lot. And then there's going to be at least, yeah, I'm gonna have to do it for like at least a few hours, and I hope I'm not gonna like get back pain or something. Like at the moment, this chair is a lot better than the one I have in my other setup in my house. This one in my dorm, like I have a chair here that works a lot better. Like it's actually kind of gives a bit better back support. So yeah, anyway, Ice Age Collision Course. This was also surprisingly like, I like this one a lot. This one, I would give it probably B tier, not as good as the fourth one, but definitely I did enjoy it. I did like the threat of the comet. I thought it was a good threat, and I thought that I like the purple. There was a lot of purple in this film that I thought worked pretty well. They bring back a lot of they bring Buck back in this film where he wasn't in the fourth film, so I do appreciate that they brought him back. Yeah, overall I thought it was like a B tier film. The Naked Gun. Okay, this is another S tier film. I thought that once again the other Naked Gun films, like even the weakest one, which is the second film, still an A tier film. I thought that the newest Naked Gun film is very good. Honestly, I thought that Frank Drebin Jr. played by, the first one was Leslie Nelson. This one, they got Liam Neeson. So, you know, interesting name choicing that they did for the casting. I thought that it was a great film, great. It very much brought the same energy as like the first three, it felt like, but in like kind of a modern setting, I guess. Still felt like a good spoof film, where we haven't had like a spoof film in, at least I haven't seen a spoof, like I haven't seen that there's like been any modern spoof films. Like you had a lot in the, I think the 80s and 90s maybe for, where you had Airplane, Spaceballs, The Naked Gun, Police Squad. Those are, I think, honestly, those are the only spoof films I've seen. But yeah, I will hopefully see some more in the future. Definitely great reboot, I guess you could say. So hopefully they'll make some sequels for it. So Elio, this one was, yeah, F tier. Honestly, I think from what I remember, I give it like a 5 out of 10. If I give a movie, I guess a 5 out of 10. If I only thought it was like, if I thought a movie was like above, like not good or bad or average or even above average, I think that would probably in this case put it in like F tier, because this is just like, we're being very harsh with these films, I'd say. So Elio, it was the newest Pixar film. Pixar in general just hasn't been as haven't been hitting as lately as they used to, with like stuff like they, you know, they had some misses in the past as well. Like I think that like the Cars movies, which weren't that great, but from what I remember, who knows, I'll rewatch it. And that's actually, I have a friend that he said like his favorite film was like Cars, and I was like, are you serious? And like no hate to anyone that liked Cars, I'm sure that like I don't remember liking it, but I'll rewatch it and then maybe it'll be good. So but yeah, so shout out to that friend if he's watching this now. Yeah, I do think that it was just very mid. Like Pixar just in general, they've been doing like very just like, you know, not terrible by any means, but definitely like not great, as not as good as it used to be. So just very mid-tier movie, so F tier. Spectre, James Bond. I'm going to say that this one was, I like the name. The name is great, and I do think that Blofeld is a good villain. This one has the most missed potential of any James Bond movie. You have Spectre, this organization that's meant to be like the ones that are, they were the one that were involved with Silva. They were the ones that were involved with Dominic Green. They were the ones involved with the chef. It's like this big organization that's supposed to be against James Bond. For some reason, they're not actually going at it. I said this in my review. Do a excommunicado John Wick style, a John Wick excommunicado style movie where you have all of Spectre, James Bond, he has to escape. Everyone, like, there's this, they have like all this surveillance and stuff that like they know where he is at all times. They have people like all around the world that are like hunting him. Have something like that. This film, you have James Bond going after Spectre. I don't understand it. So yeah, not F tier I would say, but definitely D tier. I guess I like the inclusion of like Madeline. I think that was that her name? It's confusing because I'm pretty sure her and their daughter have like similar names. So James Bond, Madeline. Let me see here. Madeline is the woman, and then there is their daughter, who I forgot their name. James Bond, Madeline, child. Let's see here. Matilda, yeah, Madeline Matilda, kind of similar names, so it gets confusing. Anyway, Dead Poet Society, this was one of my favorite of the year. I would give this a definite S tier. I thought that it was fantastic. I think Robin Williams, he does these great performances where it's like he's playing these characters, like in Good Will Hunting, Dead Poet Society. Those are the only two I can think of, but even so, these great characters where it's like helping these children, not children, like I guess teenagers could say, young adults, and guiding them through life, giving them advice that is helping them out greatly in their journeys in life. And I think that this was a fantastic film. I'm excited to do Good Will Hunting, and then I'm going to do a comparison between Good Will Hunting and Dead Poet Society. That is going to be fun. The Brutalist. The Brutalist, this was fine. I would give it like B tier or C tier. I'll go C tier. I'm going to be harsh with it. I'm going to give it C tier. I thought it was fine. It was all right. Like, it was a fine plot, I guess. Like, an immigrant that is kind of being abused kind of by society. Like, I think that's what they were kind of going for with this film, where you have his cousin ends up kicking him out of his house because his cousin's wife doesn't really like him that much because he's an immigrant. He ends up working for this guy, Harrison, I'm pretty sure his name was, and Harrison kind of like doesn't really respect him that much, and by the end of the film he ends up raping him. So definitely kind of a commentary on how immigrants are treated, I think. And so I thought it was fine, you know, not my favorite film of the year, definitely not the worst one though. So C tier. The Adventures of Buck Wild, F tier, worst film in the Ice Age franchise. The animation looks terrible. This is a terrible sequel because they mention at the very start, they do like this montage of like all the previous adventures they went on, and then they completely cut to like nowadays. You don't see Ellie, you don't see Shira from, like, you know, she's now part of the gang. You see, like, in the herd, you see, I'm pretty sure, maybe you do see Ellie, but you don't see Peaches. So, which I guess is fine because in the fifth film they like established that she left with Julian. But I don't remember if they show Ellie or not, but like they don't show Shira. So it's like there's characters from the previous films that you don't see anymore. Sid's love interest, I forgot her name, but Beth, well, I was gonna, Ice Age Sid's girlfriend here. What was her name? Brooke. Yeah, Brooke. Okay, what the hell is that? I saw something that said deleted scene. I don't know what that was. F1, the movie. Yeah, so F tier, I didn't like Ice Age, The Adventures of Buck Wild. Orson, lame villain. He just had the power of fire and he was like smarter, I guess, didn't really care for him. Yeah, anyway, F1, I would say F1. The movie, it was C or D tier. Like, it's very forgettable in my opinion. It's kind of, I'm gonna give it D tier, honestly. It didn't marinate the best for me. It feels a bit forgettable. Like, it does feel kind of like a bit of a generic sports movie. I guess this one has like cars, which is a bit more unique than some of the other stuff that you have, but it does feel like just, you know, the standard one of like, oh, this guy, he was very big in his youth, he failed, he comes back for redemption, and then it's like he works with like this new up-and-comer and stuff, and it's like they're trying to win the whatever. It's fine, it's not bad, it's just definitely, I guess, you know, because it's harsh, we're calling it D tier. So the original Addams Family, I would give this one C tier. I enjoy this one. This was my favorite from the actual Addams Family films. I like Gomez. I like the actual, to be honest, I like all the characters. Fester, Gomez, let me try to remember their names. Wednesday, Lurch, Grandma, whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to remember all their names. What are their names? The Addams Family characters. Let's see here. Here, Gomez, Morticia, Wednesday, Pugsley, Uncle Fester, Grandma. Okay, her name is Grandmama, yeah. Oh yeah, and Cousin It, yep. And Thing, obviously you can't forget Thing. So I would get, yeah, C tier. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. RRR, this was one of the best films that I watched this year. This was fantastic. This was the first Bollywood film that I saw, and honestly, I started off with a great one. This one, I heard it was like very good when the year came out, in I think 2022. And someone recommended one commenter, they recommended that I watch like a ton of like Bollywood films. I was like, okay, I'm not watching all these because as you know, one review per comment per video per week, whatever it is that I came up with. So I was like, okay, I'll pick one of these and I'll watch it. And I was like, okay, what's the one that I actually, like, I recognized RRR and I heard good things about it. So I was like, okay, I'll watch RRR. I saw it, fantastic, loved it, one of the best films of the year. That didn't come out this year, but one of the best films that I reviewed this year, definite S tier. Addams Family Values, I would give this one D tier. It's a step down from the original Still, you know, fine, not bad. I did not really like the new addition, the child, what's your child's name? For some reason I want to remember these names. Adam's Family, baby, Pubert, yeah, Pubert. Didn't think it was as good as the first, not terrible, yeah. Adam's Family, Reunion, this one, they had to recast a lot of the characters. The only thing I like about this one, I like Tim Curry. I like the scene where it's like he's competing with the other guy that is trying to steal the will of his grandpa, that they're at the retirement home or whatever it was that they were at for it. So I like the scene where Tim Curry was competing with that with the villain of the movie. And so, but even so, I thought that it was not a great film. So F tier. The Godfather, the original Godfather. I like this one more. I thought the first time I watched the Godfather films, I thought they were kind of overrated. Watching it now, I think that they are still pretty overrated, but I would say that they were more enjoyable on rewatch, I'd say. So I would probably give it like I'll be generous. I'll say C tier. I did like it. Definitely a lot more on rewatch, but it still was not as good as I was hoping for it to be. You know, I like the stuff with Vito. I like the actual Corleone family. I like the Michael's, like how like his character arc where eventually he becomes the Godfather. Yeah. This is the Addams Family. This is the animated one. This is the worst one in the entire franchise. This one, and I didn't even like the sequel to it. The animated ones, I don't even know. Like, I don't know how it got a sequel, to be honest. I don't know like who loved the first one so much, but the animation style, it doesn't work for me. I don't think it looks great. The actual plot itself, this one, I'm just like, whatever it was. There was the woman that wanted to go to their home and just destroy it, like redo it, like because of her show, whatever, like home makeovers or whatever. And then there was the whole thing with like Gomez trying to get like prepare Pugsley for his what was it? There was two things. There's the one in this movie where it's like he's preparing him for his like sword dancing thing, and then there's the one in the what's it called? The first film where they dance. So I don't remember what it's called. The Addams Family. There's a lot of stuff in this film that for some reason I want to remember the name of in this franchise. The Addams Family dance. The Mushka? The Mushka? Mamushka, yeah. Okay, that was from the original, the dance, and then the Addams Family 2019 sword ceremony. What's it called? Excuse my terrible spelling. Mazurka. Okay, yeah, for some reason they have like these weird dancing traditions that have these really hard to remember names. Anyway, so didn't like either film. I thought that they were, the animation was not good, and I did not really care for the plot itself. Anyway, Starsky and Hutch, I like this one. I thought that this was, not A tier, but B tier. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. You know, a nice buddy cop film, definitely. It's based off the original show of Starsky and Hutch, and I think it worked. I think, I honestly, I really like the color scheme, like the red here in this poster and stuff. Definitely B tier, I'd say. Highest to lowest, definitely disappointing. I like Spike Lee movies in general. I thought that Black KKK Klansman was great. I thought that The Five Bloods was also like really good, and I went into this one like, okay, it's a Spike Lee film, and I went into it like not really knowing what it was gonna be like, but you know, the synopsis, it seemed like I forgot what the synopsis was. It was like a high-end music mogul, like it's Ransom or something like that. And I didn't really know what to think about it going in, and I just did not really like it. Honestly, it did not work for me. I don't really know. I tried, honestly. I was thinking about this film a lot. I was trying to pin down like what it is I don't really like about it, and that sentence may have started out like with you thinking like, okay, I came up with something. I didn't actually come up with something. I don't really know why I dislike this movie so much. I like Jeffrey Wright's character. I think he's the best part about the film. But I think that the actual main character of David King, he is really selfish. He's like, okay, he wasn't willing to pay the ransom money, and he was just gonna let his like best friend's son die. And then after that, he just kind of goes after this young felon guy. And then I think it's trying to do some sort of commentary on the state of like the music industry, where it's like they promote stuff that like they're willing to like overlook people's like crimes or whatever if they like are popular or whatever. So yeah, I don't know, it just didn't really work for me too much. The Godfather Part 2, I would say that this was honestly about as good as the first one, I'd say. Like, I thought it was fun. I thought honestly, I don't think it worked as well when they did they intercutted the stuff. I liked the stuff with Michael, and I liked the stuff with the young Vito, but I kind of wish that it was like two separate films, because I did think maybe they kind of undercut some of the tension when they would cut away to like the other plotline and stuff. So I think that was my biggest problem with the film. The Godfather Part 3, yeah, this one did not work for me that well either. I honestly, I think that it was probably, I don't really know. Maybe not F tier, maybe a D tier, honestly. I remember I gave it like a 4.5. I remember it was like not good, so I'm gonna be harsh with it. I'm gonna give it F tier. I didn't think that it was not terrible though. Like definitely like on the higher side of like all the films here, I would say. So like it was bad, yeah, but it was like it was way too long. That was the first thing. Like just cut the runtime. I think it was like a 3 hour something film. So if you cut the runtime, that would automatically like make it easier. I think the worst part was like the final third act, where it's like they're just all sitting in this theater where Michael's watching his son like in a play, and then it's just like all these like assassination attempts going on, and like some of them are succeeding, some of them are failing, or something like that. I don't know. Didn't work for me. It just kind of ends with like Michael's daughter dying, and then he ends up dying of. For some reason, I have this like weird Mandela effect. I don't know if it's a Mandela effect, because I think for it to be a Mandela effect, it would have to be multiple people to have this remembrance. But I have like this own personal Mandela effect with this movie, where for some reason I thought it ends with Michael dying. Like I thought it ends with like he eats an orange, and then he dies like from it, because I don't remember if they say it in the movie, but he has diabetes. They did say that. And then I don't remember if he said like he can't have oranges or something because they're too sweet or something like that. So which they're not, like they're citrusy. So I don't know if like, I'm assuming maybe there's sugar in it. I'm not actually sure. So for some reason I thought it ends with like him dying on a chair with like an orange like on his stomach or something that like he dropped because he like ate the sugar, and I thought like he commits suicide basically by eating an orange. But anyway, F tier, didn't really like that much. Coming to America, I would give this one I'll give it like, I don't know, B or C tier. I don't know if I should be harsh or generous. I'm going to be kind of harsh with this. I'm going to give it C tier. I'd also give the sequel C tier. I thought they were fine movies. I honestly, the first time I watched them both, I liked both of them better than I did on rewatch, where on rewatch, I think I liked the second one a bit better on rewatch, and I think, and I think the sequel I liked a bit worse, but I started off, I think both of them are like pretty mid. Like they're fine, they're good, they're entertaining as much as they are. And you know, I think that Eddie Murphy, he's like pretty charming, entertaining. There were some good jokes in both, and there were some good characters in both, and the plot was like fine in both. I don't really care for the romances in either. So C tier. Yeah. Napoleon Dynamite, one of the most interesting films I saw this year. I would say that it was like D tier. I didn't think it was too enjoyable, because it was like there wasn't really a plot to it. It was kind of just like following Napoleon Dynamite along with like his everyday life and stuff. And it was fine. It was like pretty slow, but it was like not terrible. I really like the ending with like the dance sequence that he does. I keep telling myself, go back, rewatch that dance sequence, because it was like really good. But for some reason, I never get to doing that. But so I do actually want to. Hopefully, when I'm like rewatching this recording, like I upload the videos, and I usually like rewatch my own recordings to see that came out well, or just I don't know, just like see how I'm talking and stuff, see what I can improve in with these recordings and stuff. Like a lot of the time I'll see in the recordings I say a lot, like so that helps me to try to get myself to not do that, as well as sometimes I'll see that I'm, especially in the rankings lately, I see that I'm not doing enough like hand moves. I like when I'm doing hand movies. I think like when you do hand movement, I think when people do hand movements, it's engaging. So I do try to like do more hand movements when I see myself in the recordings, and I see I'm not like doing a lot of hand movements and stuff. So anyway, what was I talking about even? Napoleon Dynamite, yeah, D tier. I thought it was fine, not great, but yeah. Air, I love this movie. This was great. This was a rewatch for me this year, and this one still holds up very well, so definitely S tier I would give it. And yeah, this is one of the best biopics I think I've seen. Biopics in general, they're like, I think probably my favorite genre, honestly. Like spoof films maybe are my second favorite, and then I think biopics are my favorite genre. I just really, they always do it so well. It's like, you would think that like fictional stories would probably be better, but for some reason there are a lot of really interesting stuff that actually happened in real life. So Air, like other examples that I'm not gonna name at the moment, but yeah, there are a lot of really great biopics, and this is another great one. Like it has the story of how Nike came to be as successful as it was, and I just thought it was really great. So S tier. The Emoji Movie, yeah, F tier. I honestly, I like it more than most people, I think, but I still think it's not a great film. Like people say this is like one of the worst films of all time. I don't think it's one of the worst. I would rather watch it over like 2001: A Space Odyssey, but still, it was not great really. So didn't enjoy it too much. I guess the animation was like fine. I guess it's like as good as the art stuff. I guess like the way that the characters look and stuff, it's like as like that is what I get. If you were making a movie about emojis, I guess they came out looking as you would expect them to look. And yeah, the plot itself was like, I don't know, just he didn't want to be a meh, and so I don't know, it just didn't really work for me. I didn't care for it too much. The Sea Beast, I like this one. I watched this one twice this year. I watched it originally this year, and I made the channel, and I ended up rewatching it. So this is actually one of the films I did see this year that was new, that I ended up also rewatching. So I would give it, not an S tier, definitely, but honestly, either B or A tier. I really did like this one. I'm gonna be a bit harsh with that. I'm gonna say B tier. But yeah, this was a good one. Definitely entertaining. A lot of How to Train Your Dragon vibes, which is also a very good movie. And I would give it B tier. Yeah, definitely. Blackberry. I like this one a lot. This is another biopic. I thought that it was very good. I would give it like at least A tier. And was it an S tier film? I don't know if it was an S tier film. I'm gonna be a bit harsh. I'm just gonna give it A tier. I thought that it was very good. And so definitely an A tier film. Very, very enjoyable. I thought, honestly, Glenn Howerton, right? That's his name. I'm getting that right? Let me see here. Glenn Howerton. Yeah, I'm getting that right, yeah. So he had like one of the best performances in this film out of like any film that I've seen like ever, really, to be honest. So, yeah. We have Of Mice and Men 1939, right? I think that's this one, Of Mice and Men 19. Okay, so the new one is 1992. The original is 1939. Yeah. Okay, so this was the 1939 one. F tier. I really, there's no reason for me to watch this one when you have the new one. The new one is much better. I'll just rate it now, honestly, to be honest. Okay, not F tier because it's still like the story itself is like fine. The newer one I think is probably B tier. This is one that I've seen I think the most at this point out of not the most out of all these films, but I've seen this one. This is like a film that the story is like one that I know very well at this point because I learned this in high school. So yeah, this year not only did I learn in high school, I watched both films to like I didn't really read the book because yeah, I just didn't feel like doing that, so I'm kind of lazy. So I didn't end up reading the book. I read parts of the book. That's to be fair to myself, I read parts of the book, but then I did end up watching both the original movie of 1939, and then I watched the newer one, 1992. So that is how I consume the story. And then this year, so I watched it. I read parts of the book. I like learned in school. I went to. No, sorry. I watched the original, and then I watched the reboot, and then I started the channel, and I ended up rewatching them again. So I basically watched these films. Like each film, I watched twice this year, as well as I know the story really well of like Lenny, George, Curly, Slim, Carlson. Well, who else is there? Who's the old guy? Candy. So yeah, a lot of C names in that movie and book. So yeah, the sequel I would give B tier. The original one I just don't like as much as the newer one. The newer one is a lot better. I thought the acting was pretty good. It's a good adaptation of the original book, I guess. So yeah, B tier. The Thursday Murder Club. This one is like F tier compared to like compared to like Knives Out. I don't know. It's just. I saw Knives Out, and it's just, that is now my standard for like what a good mystery film is. This one in comparison just doesn't feel that as good. I feel like F tier is a bit harsh, honestly. I'm gonna give it D tier because I do remember it was like kind of interesting, but yeah, definitely just not as good of a mystery film as Knives Out. So honestly, like Knives Out is what I'm comparing it to, and so because of that, I'm just giving it D tier. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. This is honestly one of the most disappointing films of the year. It's not a bad film. It's not something like Taxi Driver or The Usual Suspects or even 2001: A Space Odyssey or Casablanca. It's not like one of those where it's like I thought it was bad. I thought it was a good film. I was expecting it to be like one of my favorite films of all time, to be honest. So this one, I went into it with very high expectations. And this is the film, my sister, she was constantly, like, for, I think, at least over a year, she was telling me, you need to see the Scott Pilgrim movie, you need to watch the Scott Pilgrim anime. I haven't gotten to watch the anime yet. I think I will probably like the anime more than the movie because in general, I tend to like anime more than, movies and shows, I think, based on just the stuff that I watch up until this point. So I would probably give this, B or A tier. It's not. I was expecting this to be an S tier movie. I'm gonna be harsh. I'm gonna give it a B tier film. I thought that this was out of who's the director of it? Who directed? I know. I forgot his name. He's the one that directed Baby Driver. So, yeah, Edgar Wright. Out of Edgar Wright films, so the scale is like, okay, I've seen Baby Driver, one of my favorite films. It's like a 9 out of 10. Then there's Scott Pilgrim, which is like a 7 out of 10. And then there is something like, what's it called? I forgot the name. Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, which is actually here, which I would give it like a 5 out of 10, which we will get to. Yeah, we'll do it now, I guess, since we already mentioned it. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. I don't see what people like in this film. This is another film where it's like, completely overrated. Like, I watched it twice. I watched it, this is another film where it's like, I saw it earlier this year for the first time, and then I rewatched it for the channel. And so, I saw this film twice this year. I don't understand. I would honestly be a bit generous, give it D tier, but just because I watched it twice, and I still don't get what people see in it. It is not like, there's funnier films. There's like maybe a few good jokes here and there in the film. Like when what's his name, Ed, he says like, I'm not going to tell you this, but you know what I am going to tell you? I'm going to tell you this. You know what? It's on the end of the world. And then it's like, there's a zombie right outside the window in the next shot. So something like that. So there are some good lines, you know, when they're throwing the records and then they're like, he's basically saying like, oh yeah, throw that one. I don't like that one. And it's like, you know, I like that music. Don't throw that music away. So there are some good jokes, but overall it's just a very, I don't know. It's not funny. It's very slow. It's a very slow film. It never feels like they're in any real danger. Yeah, it doesn't work for me, honestly. I don't know why. Just for watch my review, I guess, if you really want more thoughts on it. But yeah, F tier. You know what I just realized as I was speaking about that? I realized I was planning to originally, when I was going to do this, ranking, I was planning to actually do it based on numbers. So I was going to have like 10, 9. Not 10, I guess, but 9.5, a 9 out of 10, 8.5, 8. I realized I was going to do that, and I feel like maybe I should edit this to do that, but I kind of am thinking now that if I do it more specific, it might end up being a bit too difficult to compare the films. So I actually think that it's probably the better idea that I ended up doing it more general, because if not, then this was going to be way more difficult to rank it, because then it would end up being like, what, a total of, actually I have the scoreboard here, let me see here. It would have ended up being a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not one, but yeah, because I don't count tens or zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It would have been a total of 19 tiers, which I feel like would have been a bit excessive. So I'm actually happy with the way this turned out. Okay, I have to leave in about 15 minutes. This recording's been going on for an hour 16, so we do have to start wrapping this up, and hopefully we will have enough time to do that. So Whiplash, this was one of the best films that I saw this year. Loved this one. Definite, I would say S tier. Very, very good film. The music was great. Very tense for like a movie about just like jazz. It is like, honestly, it's kind of like paradoxical in a way, because jazz, it's like an oxymoron, because like jazz is meant to be kind of this like soothing, relaxing type of music. At least like, I don't know. I'm probably wrong about that. There is probably like a lot of tense jazz out there, but in general, like I feel like the stereotype of jazz is that it's like kind of relaxing and stuff. And so to have this one where it's like all jazz, but it's like very tense and very dramatic and stuff, I thought it was very good. Parasite, it was fine. I think this was like the one that won the Oscar in 2019. It was all right. I thought like it was probably on the same level as The Brutalist. A bit better than The Brutalist, but I don't think I would give it. It's like B or C tier. I'm going to be harsh with that. I'm going to say C tier. It was all right. I thought that it was, yeah, it was fine. I didn't really, it was a Korean film, so it's one of the only Korean, I don't think I really saw that many Korean films. So it was interesting. It was good. And yeah, for more thoughts, watch my review on it. Moving on, Hotel Transylvania, the original. This was the best one in the franchise, and so I would give this probably at least an A tier. I don't think I would go S tier, but definitely this was a very, very strong film. The characters, Johnny, Mavis, Dracula, all the side characters, I think were great in this film. The actual plot itself of Dracula trying to hide Johnny, and then Mavis ending up to, Mavis and Johnny, they end up falling in love and stuff, and then he's like trying to overcome his prejudices of humans and stuff. I thought overall it was a great film, A tier. Flushed Away, this was another great film, and I would probably give this one, this was one of the best Aardman films, and I would give this one, I'd go A tier or B tier. I think I would probably give it like, I'm going to be a bit harsh. I'm going to give it like B tier, because I do, I feel like as I let it marinate, I would have to like rewatch it to, I don't know. I remember it like being good, but I don't remember too many specifics about the film. I do remember though that it was a good film. You had LaFrog, he was a great villain. The jokes I remember were pretty good. The plot itself was pretty interesting itself as well. You know, fine. I actually, as I think about it, was a very good film, so I'm going to give it A tier. The sequel of Hotel Transylvania, I think this is probably the one that I said was the weakest in the franchise, and I would give this one probably, yeah, I don't know, I'd give this one like D tier. I don't know, I remember I liked it more as a kid, but on rewatch, like I just don't really care for it that much. They introduced Vlad. I thought that he was a great character, so definitely Vlad is a good character, and as well as you still have more of Johnny and Mavis, that's good. The side cast are still in this one. They're still not as, you know, in the later films, they're just not as great, but in this film, they're still pretty prominent, which is nice. Yeah, overall, I would say D tier. The Client, this F tier, this is just, yeah, I don't know. This was very, like, one of the most forgetful films I think I've seen, like, period. It's just, I don't know. It's like a kid, he ends up hearing some, like, illegal information from a lawyer, and then from that, he ends up, he's being hunted now by, like, not the mafia, but, like, some crime syndicate, and then there is a lawyer that's like trying to help him and protect him and like prove his innocence or something like that, and then there's this other guy that's like trying to get the information out of him. It's like basically a lot of parties trying to get information out of this one kid, and I don't know. It wasn't like bad, but it was like kind of a bit boring and like not the most interesting. For like the premise is like not terrible, but like I don't know, the execution wasn't great. So Sinners, okay, this one I did not really like that much. Honestly, this is probably just because horror in general is not really, there's good horror stuff I like, but in general, just like the horror genre, it's my least favorite one. It works on certain occasions, which I will actually probably get to in one of the next tier lists, where there is a horror property, which actually does rank, like I think probably S tier is going to rank, or at least A tier at the very least. But yeah, Sinners, it just didn't really work for me. I know that a lot of people love this film this year, but I definitely was not one of them. And I don't think it was bad though. I would probably give it like, honestly, like either D or C tier. And I think it's probably C tier. I'll give it like, it was fine. It was all right. Like there were I thought the music was good. I thought the characters were also like, pretty cool and stuff. I thought the plot itself though, it felt too, I don't know, it felt like they weren't really in any danger at any point. It's like, if the vampires can't get in, just wait out the night. Like, that's it. And then there was the one character who was like, no, I have to leave. I have to, like, make sure that my daughter's okay or whatever. It's like, what's your plan? Like, you're going to walk out the door, they're going to kill you. So, yeah, and then, as well as the vampires, I'm pretty sure, like, they were able to just burn the house down with Molotov cocktails. So I don't get why, like, they didn't do it earlier. So, yeah, overall, I would say, C tier, it was fine. Yeah. Hotel Transylvania Summer Vacation. C tier, it was all right. I like the different setting. It was cool, I guess. Van Helsing, it was a nice addition. Erica, she was fine. Yeah, overall, I would say C tier. Hotel Transylvania, Transformania, I would say D tier. This one I thought was, this was the only Hotel Transylvania film that was not a rewatch for me. This was the first time watching me this year. I did not really like how they just basically, like Dracula's been fine with Johnny ever since the first film. Like in the second film, they're good. They work together in the second film. In the third film, I think they're also like, they're fine. They're not like at odds. And then for some reason in this film, it's like all of a sudden he's like not cool with like Johnny's antics or whatever. So yeah, I thought that it was just some random, they wanted a sequel film. They're like, okay, what can we do? Let's have tension between Drac and Johnny again because it worked in the first film. So yeah, I don't think it worked as well in this film. I didn't really like a lot of the transformations. I don't like the fact that Drac, he was like a punching bag for most of the film. I didn't like any of the side cast really in this film either. I don't remember at any point Mavis wearing this like whatever it is, the cloak thing. So I don't know what that is from, but yeah. Early Man, I would give this one F tier. I didn't care for this. This is one of Aardman's weaker films in my opinion. It was just, I don't know, there was soccer, it was fine. It was yeah, just very mid-tier Aardman film. I think this is actually, besides Pirates and Pirates Band of Misfits, as well as Arthur Christmas, this is the only one that did not get a sequel. I don't think it's going to get a sequel, but Wallace and Gromit got one, Chicken Run got, as well as Flush Away. Okay, there are a few Aardman films that didn't get a sequel, but out of all the ones that didn't get a sequel, this is the weakest one. So, yeah, every other one, like, I don't know, we've been with the characters longer, so they're better, or the solo films, just, I like them better, so. The Early Man films, the Early Man film, I thought, yeah, just not great. Once again, I think, like, F tier in this case, it's, like, there could be some films here that are, like, not good or bad, but in this case, we're just calling them F tier, because, I don't know, for the purposes, we have to say that, maybe I should make another tier that just is, like, strictly for just not good or bad films. Nah, I don't feel like doing that, we're just gonna say F tier. Okay, Knives Out, I would give Knives Out. This was a great film. I thought that the Knives Out films in general were very good, and I would say that this one was definitely, I would say, an S tier film, honestly. This was a very good one, a very good, strong start to the franchise, and a very good mystery. This is the best side cast with Romney Family, their best side cast so far out of any of the films, and yeah, a lot of good characters, and yeah. Glass Onion, the sequel to the original Knives Out, the weakest Knives Out film, but even so, a very good one. Great mystery. I thought that the island, the setting of the actual island is the best setting so far in the franchise, and yeah. character's a bit underdeveloped, but I do like the bonds that they have between each other. I do like the storytelling structure that they have, where halfway through the film, I forgot to mention that as well as the first one. Like the first film is like the first hour is kind of being like it's all Benoit Blanc. He's reading it, and then from the hour mark, it's like he stops reading what happened up until this point, and then we're continuing from like his perspective, and then Glass Onion, I do like we're halfway through the film. It's like they retell all the events of the movie from from the perspective of us having now like new knowledge and stuff. So Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. This was a D tier. It was fine. I thought that it was yeah. Did I give Vengeance Most Foul? That should have been I didn't know how harsh I was going to be when I started this tier list, but yeah, definitely have to change some stuff around. I would give Vengeance Most Foul like D tier, and I would give fine. I'll give Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I'll give it C tier. It's better than the first one. It is, it's a fine film. C tier, I'd say. Is there anything else I would change from the start? Let me see here. No, that's good. That's good. I think this is fine. If I see something that I don't agree with, I'll like move it at the end. The Mask. This is an S tier film. I love it. This was great. This was one of the best characters in general in a film, like a protagonist of The Mask. I thought it was very cool, very interesting. Yeah, this is, I think, probably my favorite Jim Carrey film, to be honest. Very, very good character, a lot of good action, a lot of good jokes, and yeah, S tier. Son of the Mask, yeah, definitely not a great sequel. Yeah, I mean, as a sequel, I guess I guess it fits the criteria of a fine sequel. I mean, it doesn't really establish what happened, though. It kind of, at the end of the first film, it just falls into the ocean, and then in this film, it's like it shows like, oh, it washed up to this like house or whatever. I don't know how it works as a sequel, but anyway, as the actual film itself, I did not like it, so I'm gonna give it like F tier. Yeah, it didn't really work for me. There were some good moments, like there were good moments where Tim puts on the mask, where it like kind of emulates the same energy as the original Mask film, where he's in the form of the mask, and so I thought that was good. But other than that, yeah. Moneyball, another biopic which I really liked, and I don't think it's as good as I don't think it's as good as Air or Blackberry, but I did like it a lot, so I'm gonna say A tier. And I feel like maybe I should move A tier, Blackberry to S tier, because it was a very good film. But I'm just gonna be harsh and call it A tier. So yeah, Moneyball, definite A tier, I'd say. Very, very interesting. Very like about the using math and statistics in baseball in order to win, and I thought it was just very, very good. Jonah Hill, great. Brad Pitt, great. And yeah, overall A tier film. The original Bad Boys, this was one of the weaker Bad Boys films. I would probably give it like, where did I put Bad Boys Ride or Die? I put it like the same tier, D tier. It was fine. I still like the chemistry between Mike Lowry and Marcus who? What's his name? Bad Boys Marcus Burnett. Yeah, Marcus, is that him? Marcus Burnett. Yeah, I like the chemistry between them. I think that they're good buddy cop characters, but I do think that the villain is like the worst one in the entire franchise, and yeah, just pretty generic. It was something like that their biggest bust ever got stolen, and so so now they have to like go after the people that stole and stuff. So didn't really. It's not like F tier, but it's definitely not any higher than D tier. Casino Royale. Finally, this is the last one. Holy shit, this is gonna be like about an hour and a half video. So, I watch these videos. I watch my own videos in 2x speed because like I just in general watch videos in 2x speed. My battery on my computer is low. I think my battery on my phone is also getting pretty low. It is 1:55 at the moment. My lesson starts at like 2:10, so I have 15 minutes to get there, and it takes about 10 minutes to get there. So I do need to be wrapping this up. And we didn't even do side style yet. Oh, okay. I'm gonna show up late to the lesson. Casino Royale. Casino Royale. I'm going to give. I'd give Casino Royale like B tier. It's all right. It is one of the better James Bond films. Not as good as Skyfall, but definitely a good introduction to the character of the Daniel Craig James Bond character. And so yeah, B tier. Okay, we gotta really quickly. We gotta do side style. So okay, for the purposes of F tier, we're gonna actually go in like reverse order. We're gonna just put like the worst ones at the bottom. So what is my least favorite from these? This is like mostly just gonna be instinctual. So yeah. Actually, okay, so even if this is qualitative based, so obviously runtime mercy fallacy does not occur here. This is just, we're doing it based on how good the quality of the film is, in my opinion. So, and once again, it's mostly instinctual. So yeah, here I'd put that there. I'd put this. Yeah, that was there. That one there. We will put that one there, and then that there, that there, that there, that there, that there. Yeah, and then sure. No, actually, yeah, there, and then okay, highest to lowest, where do we put this? This one should go about, yeah, okay, that's good. Man, this is tough. Independence Day, I would give, okay, is this fine? I don't know if it's fine. It's good for now, I guess. I would put that there, and I would put this. Yeah, this is tough. This is very, very tough. Okay, is that fine? Yeah, okay, we'll stick with this for now, I guess. Okay, the D tiers. Okay, purely instinct. Come on, let's do this. Purely instinct. There. There, no, there, and then there, that, then that, then that, then that, then that, and then we'll do that, and then we'll go with that, and then that, and then I'm gonna show up late. I thought I would do this in an hour. I didn't know how long this was gonna take, but whatever. No. Okay, that's fine, I guess. And then C tiers. Okay, we're almost done. C tiers. Okay, best one here. I don't know. That. No, we'll do that, and then we'll do. We'll go there. Then we'll have Ice Age, and then The Brutalist, No Time to Die, The Godfather, Venetian Scheme, yeah, Novocaine, and then we'll do Despicable Me 2. And we'll put that there, and then we'll do Addams Family, and then Coming to America, and Coming to America 2, then The Godfather Part 2, and then Parasite, and then Sinners, and then Hotel Transylvania 3. Okay, I think that's fine. And then here, B tier. Let's see here. We'll go there, and then, no, then there, and then we'll say that, and then 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 that. Actually, no, that, and then that, 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 yep. I apologize that I'm not speaking a lot. I'm just trying to concentrate on doing it side style, but yeah, okay, I think that's, we'll put this a bit higher. Yeah, okay, I think that's fine. Okay, A tiers, we're getting into the really good stuff now, so this is getting actively more difficult. Okay, my class starts in 10 minutes, I'm gonna be late. We'll start with that, and then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that, and then we are going to do this, then this, and then, no, sorry, I meant to put that there, and then we will say there, then there, then there, and then that, and then that, and then that, and then that, and then, sure, we'll say that, and then that, then that, and then there, and then there, and then there, and then we'll go there, there. I'm also really hungry, I didn't eat lunch. That's, and then, is that good? I think that's fine. Yeah, okay. And then best tiers. Okay, best of the best. Now, we'll do this reverse order. So, least favorite from the year. What is it? I love all of these. Honestly, these are all some of my favorite movies of all time. So, this is really, really difficult. I have to put Wake Up Dead Man, honestly. The side cast that brings it down for me. I think this is the only new film. No, this and Whiplash are the only, and K-Pop Demon Hunters, those are the only, and I guess the Naked Gun movies, but yeah. A lot of these are, well, actually, no, half of these are like new ones, half of these are rewatches, so. Then we are gonna go with Knives Out, and then, no, so actually, no, yeah, Wake Up Dead Man better than the original Knives Out, and then, okay, and then we'll do Dead Poet Society, and then, we'll do The Mask, yeah, and then we'll say, John Wick Chapter 4, and then, what should we do next? The original Naked Gun, no, actually, no, yeah, we'll do that, and then, okay, out of all these, we'll say Sing, and then we'll say, we'll go Whiplash, yeah, and then we'll go Air, and then we'll say the new Naked Gun, and then, okay, out of these 5, what was the best? Okay, K-Pop Demon Hunters goes down, and then we're gonna go with, we'll say Moana, and then, yeah, Naked Gun 3, and then I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, honestly, RRR, I think it was probably the best film that I saw this year. It's a 9.5. I think most of these honestly would probably get like a 9. Probably I think S tier is between like I'm gonna label this like S 9.5 through 9.5 to we'll say 8.5. Yeah, and then we'll say A tiers are between an 8 to a between an 8 to a, we'll say like a 7.5, and then I might end up editing this later on, but just for now. And then we're gonna say a B tier is a 7 to a, like a 7 to a 6.5, I think we'll give it. And then with a margin of error, okay, all of this, like I might end up changing. There's probably loads of contradictions to like previous stuff that I've rated before, but yeah, this is, okay, 6 to a, we'll say, a 6 to a 5.5, and then we'll just say D tiers are, like, a 5 out of 10, I guess, kind of, and then anything here is, like, a 5 to 0.5. Yeah, I think that's good. I think, yeah, I think this is probably, I don't know. I have to like really edit this a lot, but no, okay, that's good. 8.5 to a 7.5, 7 to a 6.5, 6 to a 5.5, 5. Okay, yeah, definitely just, I don't know. I have to edit this probably, but yeah, there are a lot of, stuff here that would not, okay, you know what, forget the scores, we're not going to think about that too much now. I will come back to this later on, and then maybe for the next recording, I think that I'll do later, I will end up making it neater. But for now, I think this is what we're going to leave it at. And yeah, okay, this is the longest recording so far, over an hour, 30 minutes. Okay, so I can't get the full tier list in shot, but here we have, here, we'll start from the bottom. We have the bottom tiers, F through C, and then we have the B through S tier. So this is my ranking for every movie that I either rewatched or reviewed. This is all the movies I reviewed this year. So it's not every film I saw this year, but yeah, this is my ranking for every film that I reviewed this year, how much I liked it. And so, yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, web series, anything that you want me to review or rank or compare, rankings does not have to be media related. It could be anything. Leave it in the comments and I will maybe possibly check it out. But with that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.